beneficial,
think.
it would be beneficial.
He's got 3
probably
5-year.
to get them out and use their office space.
Well,
for us.
it's just, do we take a stand now? Do we take a stand that we
Well,
don't
he's got
take this building unless
3
we can
years.
buy out this tenant?
For a reasonable price, if
Right.
that's,
I think
mean,
you
we
can
can't.
use the rentals as a selling point for the community.
Okay.
Maybe,
But it's
All
a
right.
shame to,
It's
it's
a
a
lot
shame
of
to,
Yeah,
money.
we're gonna have to
Wasted.
build the offices upstairs.
It's a
If
lot
you
of
wanna
money.
get
Set aside.
people to vote for it, I think that's.
I know it's a nice selling point, but
I
are we okay with the space with the tenant in the building? Does that afford us the space to do what we,
Well,
you know,
Yeah.
our
essentially,
vision tells
essentially
us?
we're down to 9,000 square feet. So,
And right, in this
which is
And
building,
we're at
larger than what we
5,600
have
here.
now.
5,600 here,
9,000.
9,000, and the math is.
it's not a
and
huge,
No.
Not a big
And
gain.
he also said that's way too much office space right now where that renter is, so he said you'd have to, it's better to do things now while it's a shell to get them out and revamp it than move him out once we're all done, cause he goes, that's way too much office space for what we would need, so he said to take that into, it's wasted, basically, if that's what we would just use it at, so to take that into consideration too.
So it behooves us to see what his proposal is for installation, for a good price.
in other words, I think what he's gonna do is, if the whole package over there is 6 million, he's gonna then say, well, based upon current building costs, building library costs, for $6 million, you can get X number of square feet over there. And
And what?
And now it has.
No, I think it'd be more than an outhouse, maybe.
it might be a building of very, very similar size.
And you know, and you go to the community and say, this is phase one, you know, we're not gonna build the Taj Mahal as it was proposed in the past. We are going to build something that is, you know, that is going to grow over time. I know, Keith, you don't think that we might need a third floor in the future if we go
No,
with
we
the
won't.
quadrine and I
I
don't,
do
I
not.
wish I had that magic wall to say, no, we don't,
Another,
but we don't.
another thing
It's out
Paul
there, technology.
said to me after we left the property was that the Q building is not in the main street of Goshen. You kinda have to go in and out to get to it. He said the property, it's right on Main Street. You go down a block or two.
Yeah, I don't agree at all.
Well, that was his
I don't
comment.
agree
It's on
at
the
all.
same road as this one.
So,
He's pushing us in that direction, and
nah,
that's,
well, he just said it just wasn't on the main thoroughfare, so just to take that into consideration as well.
And
Also,
if
I brought up-
you come out of the Legion property and try to make a left into town,
It can't be worse than backing out of this.
No,
yeah.
Good grief, Charlie
just as
Brown.
bad. Well, it's
Just
don't
not
do
it at
really
5
just as
o'clock.
bad. You don't have the county in between.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm kinda hearing that we don't want the building unless we get that space from the tenant.
No, I don't think that's,
No?
that's kinda, well, I wouldn't say it's a deal
I wouldn't say
breaker,
it's a
but
done,
it's a
right,
plus.
done
It's a
deal.
big plus, I think.
We
Yeah.
need to find out how much the tenant wants to get bought out.
Yeah.
And if
Right.
it's a
I
price
mean,
that we cannot afford, the
I'm sure
community
it's an
cannot
easy
afford.
conversation.
The tenants, I think Ray said the tenant spent $250,000
Yeah.
Yes.
on the,
Making
did.
it,
Yeah.
to build it, so he obviously wants $250,000.
Right.
yeah.
Then, plus all the inconvenience of moving, so
Mhm.
And buying
probably
it
gonna
all
be
for
more like
years.
$500,000 to
Yeah.
get them out, something
Is
like
that
that.
something, is that money we
But
have?
then we'll have all the offices
Part
built,
of the bond that we would.
and those offices, to build those
Yeah.
offices probably might cost
Yes.
$250,000.
And the costs keep
And the
climbing.
thing
So-
is, you could solve all of this question by just making sure you have all
Oh,
the
the kids
children's
upstairs.
programs upstairs and give him 6 months and he'll move out by himself.
I don't think so.
I don't
Turn him
know.
loose
I don't-
on a terrace.
I'm thinking the walls are pretty good.
Turn him loose on a terrace.
And,
Maybe if they were on the third floor, that would be different.
I
Put them
brought
on the
up
roof.
the town of Lloyd
Right over his
Library,
offices.
Town of Lloyd.
that was 14,000 square
Yeah.
feet for 6.6. But that's an existing building that was revamped, but he said a lot of work went into it because it was an old building, so they need to make sure that all the engineering, all the specs, all the secret, all that stuff was done in that building. But it was 14,000 square feet for 6.6 with an existing, so I'm just saying, if you took 2,000 off of that square feet, maybe, so I don't know how viable it is. I just wanna make sure I do due diligence so that the people that are in love with that property can't say you didn't try.
Well, that was
Well,
just interesting
What
because-
library was
What's
this?
in love with that property?
Town
aside
of
from those
Lloyd,
we
I
know
think
of?
that's in Highland Falls, Town of Lloyd. Where's Town of Lloyd?
It's somewhere,
It's
That's the one
somewhere
that was
upstate.
sticking up in the
That was in the
paper.
paper about a week or so ago, right?
Right.
Yes,
because I think I still have it saved.
yes. Oh, with the trellis, with the train trellis and
Yeah,
that
it was
kind
an
of
older,
thing,
older
yeah.
building.
Yeah.
That's an
Right.
interesting number though, because if they're taking an existing building of 14,000 square feet and adding 6 million to it. Now, we're talking about an existing building as well, and granted it's a newer building, wouldn't need to have any enhancements.
It's about the same
or-
price for 9,000 square feet essentially with the leasing.
So, but I'm wondering, is it gonna cost, it's not gonna cost $6 million to outfit this building on top of whatever we paid
No.
for it.
No,
No, three,
we
still at
purchased
6.
that building, including the area that the leasing is in. So I'm not sure we just
Well, it's not
compared there.
usable square feet.
Yeah, that gives us, Ray says it would be 12,000 plus gross, not net. In other words, your square, he's measuring from the outside of the outside walls when he says gross. And he no longer is saying 12.8 or 12.9 or almost 13, he says 12,000 plus. So he was, when he spoke to the architect, he spoke almost differently. He had talked about no problem putting it on the third floor, and when the architect asked him about that, he said, well, you have to get a variance.
And close the second
And
floor.
he didn't sound like
Yeah,
that was an
you would-
automatic,
If you were to use the elevator.
and you have to close the second floor.
I thought, I talked to the building inspector here, and he said 40, what did I tell you, 40?
It's 40 is the height max you're allowed right now, and it would be above that.
We would be above.
It would be above the 40.
Alright, so that's where
But
the variance is.
the building inspector told me that they have granted, oh no, Ray told me, that they have granted a variance. The planning board has granted a variance for one building,
Alright.
which has not yet been built. It's in that lot next to where Markers was. It's an empty lot in town, commercial.
It's about as big as this table.
Where's,
It's, sort of across from the bus stop, there's a,
No,
Oh,
I'm
right,
only
right,
kidding.
where
right.
Cashmere Bazaar used to be?
yeah,
Right,
next
The
to that.
empty lot.
There's
By
an empty
Art.
lot
Yeah.
between those
Yeah.
two
Oh,
buildings.
Cashmere lot, Cashmere.
Yeah, there was
Yeah.
used to be
Right,
something in
yeah.
there.
That-
The
There's the
beadwork
old
place,
guild
the art
building.
place.
Yeah, art
They would,
studio
yeah.
or something, right. Yeah, they were gonna
The
put
building
something
next
there.
door, the space next door, someone has come in with a plan and got permission from the
Cool.
planning board to go above 40 feet. So, that doesn't mean we would, but,
So basically, we're gaining 3,400 square feet
Usable.
of usable space.
Yeah,
unless
but
we
compared
buy them
to-
out.
It's probably a larger number than we have available right now of usable square feet.
We have 56 here, and
Yeah,
we're
but-
cramped in. So, we're talking about a building that
But
doesn't
it's
have a
not
basement for,
usable space. You're including the
Balcony.
balcony in at 5,600, you're
So it's
including the,
less?
yeah, I mean,
over there, it's,
our building here is less than 5,600 usable square feet library.
and over there we
That's a
have
point.
9,000 square of usable space,
I'm gonna say just twice of what you have here.
without any storage or
Right.
anything like
Well, we'd
that.
have to see whether that includes.
And even then, I mean,
What parts are
have you
occupied.
looked at the storage in this building, the half of,
You know,
Well,
things,
the
things
floor?
like,
Better than nothing.
when he tell us how
It's
much
not
space we
great.
would need for, for wiring for computers and, all that stuff, is there gonna need a closet for it? I mean, I know in my school, we have a room almost half this size dedicated to just wiring alone. Just wiring.
Well, we're gonna be pretty much wireless.
But don't you need,
So-
no, you,
Yeah,
we can be,
pretty much.
yeah, we can be
Not
wireless.
talking electricity,
We
I
can
thought
be
you talked about
wireless, but you
computers.
need
No,
some
it's not the
place
whole
to
building.
store
You have a
the,
patch panel for computers,
Remember,
I'm thinking.
bathrooms have to be added,
Yeah, you still need
closet
wired.
space
But
has
we
to
don't
be
need
added.
a room,
you don't need a utility
That's-
closet where you
A
house
a little
the-
closet,
It
that's all.
may not be, well, it could still be a quarter of this room right here. That's common for an infrastructure closet.
And closets for all these things.
offices for folks,
And then a smaller closet on the second floor if we wanna have a piggyback off the first floor. But
you have a lot of space on the
But you-
balcony
there's not- you
too
don't
for
need a lot
storage, you
for-
get some
for
bins
patch
out
panel.
there.
So
in
that
a,
would
in
look
a
great.
good, in
Well,
a
you
good,
wouldn't see it
in a
really.
good
You
windstorm,
don't
there
get tall
goes.
bins, but you could
We
put
could get
stuff
some
out
really
there
all the noise equipment could be right next to the current tenant.
Oh,
That
sure.
would
in front of their
add to the
windows.
Let's be
noisy
nice,
kids.
let's be nice,
Well,
let's be nice.
well, we gotta find out what it would cost to get them out of there. I think that is something we're gonna want. I'm hearing,
Something we should
we
tell the
keep going back
taxpayers.
to the, space not being sufficient for a lot of things, or, we're gonna
Who
be
wants to broach
surprised.
that
Well, but the
conversation?
follow-up question is,
Hi, it's
what
the
do-
library, how much to buy you out?
is it naturally, is that
Yeah,
natural growth?
'cause,
So
yeah,
we're saying in
that's-
10 years'
Listening to-
time,
The toilet flushing or the water.
3,000 square feet.
It's just something,
So,
Oh,
we're in the,
is it something that we definitely need?
So do you want Matt to, when he's talking to our lawyer, to ask him to make a phone call to them and ask them how much to, I don't know.
Just to
Yeah,
find out,
yeah, why
just
not?
to find out, I mean, this is all on video, it's like, we've
Matt likes to make these
we've
calls.
opened the can of wordy,
Oh,
right
this
on
is
live TV.
awkward, let him do it. I think it's
Yeah,
an
it can't
awkward
hurt.
conversation.
Yes, why can't we wait till the engineer's report
It's part,
first, and
but
then
part of the
move
cost
from there?
is, the appraisal's gonna be on the building, that's a cost, and what does Ray want, that's a cost. What it's gonna cost to have that guy move out, these are all costs we need to know, so might as well ask him.
He's my neighbor, by the way, just in full disclosure.
who is?
Oh, so why didn't you ask him?
No, not gonna cross
At the
that
bus
street.
stop.
Who, Ray or?
No, the financial guy.
Oh, is it?
Gail and Tom Guarino
Huh.
are one house down from me. In full
Merry
disclosure.
Christmas. How much do you want to buy you out?
I don't think
Have a cookie. Yeah,
Nope.
we'll let our lawyer do that.
It's a negotiation, regardless.
It's a price that we need
Okay.
to think about. It's a price that
Get a starting point.
involves
and-
everything in all of this, so it's a
No,
cost.
this is the library, do you wanna move, or would you rather have the kids living in your
Yeah.
office?
Yeah, so, and at the end of the day, we can do all this and we can talk to Ray, we can get a number and he can still say,
And the
Happy New
community
Year,
could say
the
no.
two are moving into the new building and
That's
then
cool.
it's done.
That's the end. We did what we should be doing.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm just putting it out
So,
there just in
yeah.
case,
Understand that.
unless we
And
go
when
in
the
and buy
state-
them all out and
When the
then,
state asks, what are you
then we're
doing to
desperate.
deal with your problems,
Yeah,
we can write a
Look at our,
narrative
look at
about
our
what we did.
videos, the
We did
meetings.
a
And we still
whole
have the
series of
property over
things,
there.
and we're still,
and I have a lawyer sending me something else about another property of his client, so it never ends. That's the gentleman that, Wiley, Vadi, that talked to
Oh,
you and you
Peter
gave him,
Vadi?
yeah,
is it Peter,
yeah,
the lawyer?
yeah.
Oh, he has a property too?
Yeah, his client does, so he's gonna have a proposal by our next meeting.
So we're good?
You know which one it is?
It's on
Yeah,
Harness
so-
Road, I'm thinking he
Anything
said
in?
something about by the village
Minor
Board
detail?
Town, Harness Road, there is a parcel of, I wrote it down at home. It can hold 15,000 square foot, so,
It's a piece of land,
yes.
it's not,
It's just land, so it can hold 5,000 buildings or 115, well, I asked him, can it hold 3 5s, is it only 115? He goes, let me talk to my client, I don't know all this stuff, when's your next meeting?
what's, did you give a price?
I don't think so yet, he's putting together a proposal. Harness Road, he wouldn't tell me the client's
Where
name
is
yet.
that?
I think he said
Then
it's by
we'll
the
go.
village building or something, so I don't know. Harness Road it's
By
called.
Maplewood?
Yeah, I think that's what he said.
Oh.
Is it the front property of the
Cold
bed and
as
Well,
breakfast?
that's where the bed and breakfast is, so I
No,
couldn't even
that's
think that.
Margaret.
I know, but is it the front property or is
Cause
it?
they
the-
No,
offered
that's
it to
Margaret's
you,
property.
Yeah, for
It is
5
all
million.
Margaret's. She's offering
I
hers.
still think that
Place.
Bailey's the best.
And it's
economic
back
sense.
on, by the way, we can
I
get
know.
the building
Oh, he
with the
always
little
has.
building for
Stayed up.
1.9, not
He's lowered it to
including,
1.9?
yes,
We
not
knew it was
including
going
the
down.
little section between the bagels and that. So the big building and the stuff in the back, 1.9. I'm just letting you know, I gotta tell you, I have to, full disclosure, people,
And you got the parking lot over too,
1.9.
the,
Good, the bad, the ugly, I gotta throw it out there. Don't kill the messenger.
And, but no,
Yeah.
that is exactly what we should be doing, so that no one, questions that we did anything behind anyone's back, that we did not explore every option, that here it is, Goshen voters, what do you want?
Yeah, we should probably
Totally
get
fair.
a price
What
from
it's coming
Paul
down to,
Mays
they're gonna vote on it.
to look at the plans on that building.
He
That
didn't-
building was renovated within the last 5 years, all new electric, plumbing, window, the Healy building.
Oh, okay.
And, so he has plans. So we could see, what's the story on that building as far as square footage and so on.
It's
Oh,
my
I went
choice.
through this, I think it's 24,000 square feet.
26. But
Well,
that
they
includes
called-
most of, you know, the bays and a lot of the
Right,
bays.
but
yeah.
I think they said they had cars maybe on the second floor at one time, so I know it's heavy enough, but
Yeah, you could
worst
use-
case, you can always put offices up there or not stacks or something. But yeah, I was told it's now 1.9, so,
Yeah, I think you, from what I can see, there are columns, building was built with lots of columns. Then there are partitions, so you can't really see many of the columns, but the partitions can come down and you'd have quite an open building, but there would be these columns around, which,
yeah, but still, for 24,000 square feet,
well,
that'd be a nice library.
probably in the building, the part that was all renovated, you're probably talking maybe 16,000. Then you have the stuff in the back.
I mean,
and this
just
is how
the
the
showroom is really what you're interested in.
And
A good 1/3 of that space is working, you know, garages, and it also includes the 2 garages on
Right.
the side, so.
Right.
Right.
For storage and
So
whatever.
what do you think, maybe 15,000?
I wouldn't even
Oh, I
guess
don't know.
on that. I'm going to, no, I wouldn't even guess.
So we have
But I
a
think
plan of
that's a good
action.
number.
you know,
And just for your information, is when I talked to Healy way back in, it seems like a year ago, but it was in the spring or the summer, I also talked to the ambulance corps about, since they came in and asked us if we would include them in this Elysian thing, and would you be interested in coming with us if we were Healy, and, oh, we'll take it up, and they died the way we die. And I talked to the town about trying to make some town, over the garages is a perfect place for a combined courthouse for the town and the village. But trying to get those people together is like trying to get
They
mad
had no
cats
vision.
and dogs in the same room.
Herding
Um,
cats.
Excuse me?
Herding cats.
Herding cats. But it would be an ideal place. I was looking for ways to get 3 or 4 public
yeah.
properties
Mhm.
back on the tax rolls in exchange for combined, be great, combine the police department over there. I really wanted to get the village WPA over there so that we could make sure we got free plowing.
You gotta run for county executive and get everybody on the table.
I'm sorry?
Run for county executive, get everybody
Me?
on the table, yes.
Oh, yeah,
And we can bring them together.
no. You wouldn't want me county executive because I'd be running around this place with a whip.
Well, it's an option.
Paul
If
Haley-
Q doesn't work out and
And a
Solution
cattle
doesn't work
prod
out,
getting
if that's
into the
1.9 and it's still on, we could maybe, you lowball and go 1.5,
It
1.7.
will go down. You know,
But you,
And Paul Healy wants
you
to,
don't talk negotiation on the video camera.
No, we're not negotiating, I'm saying in
You know,
theory, in theory.
You know what in theory
And
is.
then we have this building, basically it would be a
Offer
wash.
1.5 and then we'll sell it to
Be
1.7. I think you might
be
sell it
aware
1.7. How do
that-
you know these things?
in
I'm a
terms
genius.
of Healy, and Healy will tell you this because he told me, the terms of his dealership with General Motors are that he must vacate that outdated premise and he must move into the new General Motors image of sparkling new steel and
Modern,
glass,
yeah.
modern,
So, see,
image
it's just
that they
close.
want.
I didn't do what he did.
and he has to be out of there. He can't sell it to his own private company. He's
but he
gotta-
told me when I saw the building, and he said that the offices can stay from 12 to 24 months. It's the car, the auto, the showroom, all that's gonna
Right.
go. But he would be interested actually in renting the upper level for 12 to 24 months. We'd have a revenue stream
Right.
But
at
that
that
was
time.
back in August, wasn't it? So now that's even probably less of a time constraint.
That's possible.
Because October, I know the other one was due, that contract, so, I mean, we're talking December now, so maybe we're down to 8 to 10 months, who knows? It's just an option, if Q falls through, if Solution I mean, at 1.9,
There are properties out there.
maybe we have a option.
But I was
Hmm.
told also by a senior local government official that Paul Healy's wife was a supporter of the library and had been after him to make sure if the library had talked to him that whatever.
This
That's
building and the
worth it.
land probably would be a wash.
Is he moving completely out of the downtown area?
Yes.
He has to go to a
That-
new,
He's going over on
Where's-
17
Over
Everett.
Yeah.
17
Where all the
No,
cars are.
Middletown,
Middletown.
211.
Right, where,
Oh,
Jim
211?
Smith used to
Yeah.
be, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Didn't he take
Oh, I
Jim
didn't know
Smith
that, I thought he
from
was
there?
only with the
He
other car
had one
dealers.
there. But
where's Jim Smith?
It's by, Route 6.
it's,
no,
Where
on
the
211 he's
piano
going.
store-
Oh,
was-
211, I'm thinking 17 out by
17 Everett, that's what I thought.
Jim Smith is what I was
He had
thinking.
one over there
Already?
on
17A.
17 and
Oh,
that.
17
yeah,
now.
that's right, though.
Oh,
Yeah, I
Well,
thought
he's
he
got
was
them all over the
close
place
here.
then, I
consolidating
guess.
the whole thing there, he's not. He's got
I,
to
I
do
don't, I
211.
don't know.
Yeah.
Because I was confused about that myself.
alright,
Executive session, we don't,
Nope.
okay, nothing, and there's no privilege of the floor. So is there anything else anyone needs to talk about, discuss,
December
Vent.
13th.
cry, complain, can I be
Moving slow.
Okay, we have a motion to end the meeting at 8:35, Frank and Norma, thank you.
thank you.